Hi, my name is Brooke Lippman.
And I'm Dr. Deb Lippman.
And this is Wine Together,
a podcast where we drink some wine and have a chat. Because we drink wine like regular people, with food, opinions, and absolutely zero pressure to sound fancy.
So sit back, relax, and get that corkscrew ready.
Salud.
Salud.
We have a Spanish one, so
Mm-hmm.
salud.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay. Okay, so if anybody happened to see the Instagram post and you saw that we had a Rioja and you went out and bought it and you're going to drink with us, let's have our first sip and tell me what you think.
All right. My eyes are still watering from laughing.
I know, what a mess.
Okay.
Salud again. Oh, it's just the berries. The berries.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, definitely strong blackcurrant cherries. I don't know what you think.
It's very oaky. I mean, all Riojas are oaky.
Yes, they are. And this is a good point. I'm glad you brought that up because that really would have been what I was looking for my second sip. But, I'll take a second sip just so we can talk about the oakiness of it.
Okay.
What else other than oakiness from that second sip? What do you get?
I can taste the blackcurrant a little bit. Maybe some blackberries.
Yeah, and black pepper.
Yeah.
You know what? And it's so funny because I read this that the Riojas are often kind of aged in the oak barrels longer than other red wines. And so they pick up more of the spice in the oak. And so, yeah, if you can, feel that black pepper and kind of taste a teeny bit of vanilla from the oak, that's why that could be one. And I thought that was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then, with what you paired it with, it's like we just had spice on spice. We had more than Spice Girls with us in this particular drink and this food and wine pairing. It's absolutely excellent. Absolutely excellent. And so, like, I mentioned the Instagram post for people listening. If you see that wine and, hopefully we give you enough information about it. This one, we definitely decanted because it was very young. And so we decanted this one for close to 45 minutes to an hour. We did it at halftime of the game, and then they had 5 minutes extra added, but they actually got almost 6.5 extra time. Then it took us time to get in here and set up. So we probably had about an hour decanted in this. Plus, I had poured the glasses 15 minutes before we started, and so you definitely get that fruity right off the top. I mean. The black currants it's definite. Definitely. And it's so funny because it's still a little cold here. Look, weather app says it's going to warm up, but it's still kind of cold here. And so I'm still in my, I need my red wine kind of. It's like my support drink. My support, some people have support animals and different things, but this is kind of my support animal. It's my red wine. So especially in the cold months, because I will. I'll warm up and be ready for rosés and white wines, but this one was just definitely. I really like this one. I know you really like Riojas, and I hadn't always been a fan. I mean, the first time I ever had a Rioja though, and I don't know. You'll have to tell me the story of yours.
Okay.
But the first time I had one was when we came here in 2019 looking for an apartment. And the first place, because your dad and I stayed in 3 different places during that week to be kind of close to, whatever we were doing that week. And it just, it happened to be on an Easter weekend. And so we were here about 10 days. And so we were here the weekend before, so we were here Palm Sunday, then the whole week of, the whole Holy Week, and then our last weekend here was Easter weekend. So we already had that experience of, a lot of the stores being closed for several days, and then there's the day of Saturday that everything's open, and then it closes down again around 5:30 in the evening, and so then it's closed for another 2 days. So we had gone to Aldi because it was kind of like. It was in Solothurn. Where La Couronne is. And so you've stayed there. And it's, within walking distance, the Aldi. So we went to Aldi and they had this beautiful 3 bottles in this wood crate of the Faustino. It's a different Rioja than the one we're trying this with, but it had a Rioja in it, and I thought, oh, I've never had this red wine. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And I tried it, and I was like, oh, this is like real red wine. It was just like, it was almost like the grown-up version of me finally having a real red wine, and not, the sweet kind of stuff that, I'd experienced, in North Carolina. Sorry. And I thought, oh my gosh, is this what real red wine is supposed to taste like? And Rioja always kind of makes me feel like I finally had grown-up wine. And so it'll always hold a special place in my heart. I don't know, but tell me your Rioja, your first time.
I don't know. It was here, definitely, because I didn't drink before we moved here.
Right.
And I don't know. It was probably the one I wanted to get this week that we did not. The Campo Viejo.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably that one, but I don't actually remember.
Yeah. And so did you have kind of the same experience with that? It was like, oh my gosh, it just is so different from other red wines?
No.
Really?
Well, I think it was probably the first red wine I had.
Oh, okay.
Because I hadn't had red wine before, and the first wine I had was the rosé at that restaurant that I didn't like.
Oh, yeah?
And then I think I'd had white wine here after that, and I didn't have red wine. So, I mean, I was just old enough to drink here and not the U.S., so, I mean, I have a different experience of drinking than you do.
Yeah. That's so funny.
It's kind of an interesting thing, though. Like, I haven't really experienced too much of, like, American wines. I've really only experienced, like, European wines, and then obviously the ones we get here from, like, Chile and Argentina, but, yeah.
Except, okay, so we have had some from Washington State.
Yeah, here. And California.
Yes.
But I mean, like, what you would get, like, the really cheap wines you would get in the U.S.
Yeah, so we'll have to, this summer, if you happen to go to the U.S., we'll try some cheap wine.
Yeah.
And you'll be like,
the one with, like, the foot on the label, like, that's the iconic cheap wine, yeah. That's, like, the cheap wine in the U.S.
Actually, I can get you some cheaper. And I know that some of you listening heard that and are laughing along with me.
Like the wine, the wine boxes?
I grew up so poor. Barefoot, you calling that the G1, that was an expensive wine.
I mean, I don't know. That's the only one I could think of.
If I ever got barefoot, I was like, this is big time.
That's the only one I could think of, other than like the kangaroo one.
Yeah, no.
But they have the kangaroo one here. I've never. I think so. I think I saw it at Otto's.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, I do like the Riojas, but I have to say I have had to learn to like them. It's not something that I immediately liked. I didn't immediately hate it, but because it was so different, so rich, so fruity, right at the front, fruity without sweet. That's what I need to say. It's like I'm eating a bowl full of cherries. That and most of you know that cherries are more tart than sweet most of the time, and this is like that. It's not necessarily tart or sour, but the tannins are really smooth. It really does roll smoothly over the tongue. It doesn't stop in your mouth. That's another thing. I don't know if other people. Sometimes I feel like red wine just kind of stops in the middle of my tongue, and it's just But this one definitely does not do that.
I was gonna say it's like a pre-ripe blueberry.
Oh,
I had some of those the other day. They were very, very tart. Like the purple blueberries that are not quite ripe yet.
But this one is so good, and you did a fine job with the food pairing again. I just, I don't know if you're kind of ready for that, but what you paired it with, I mean, just the fact that there's potatoes in it. And look, again, this is the southern in me, But potatoes and red wine are a good combination. I mean, I love potatoes and red wine.
I did some learning about this food pairing this time.
Okay, teach us.
Okay, I have to look at my phone. So I did research it on Wikipedia because I did this during the game. But so the stew that I made they're called Rioja style potatoes or really I don't speak Spanish, I'm sorry. Patatas Riojanas. And it is specifically from the Rioja region of Spain, like this dish. And so Wikipedia says it is not known when it was first made. However, potatoes were not used in soups in Spain until Napoleon's invasion.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was really
interesting.
Thank you,
Napoleon, because I like potatoes in my stew.
And then, so
Always.
Some historical or famous chef, whatever, Chef Paul Bocuse tasted this stew in a famous winery and after 3 servings told everybody that Riojan-style potatoes were the best food he had ever eaten.
Really? Because he is a very famous chef.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who it is. I'm sorry, I didn't research this guy. There's a link to his name, I didn't even click it. But anyway, he actually liked it so much he recommended it become the national dish of Spain.
Wow. Well, let me tell you something. I already mentioned that we had the spice on spice with the wine, and
I just something about chorizo.
Stews are a comfort food to me. Food with potatoes is comfort food to me. Always. And so I love that we paired a comfort food with a fancy wine, and it just worked. There was no competition between the two.
Yeah.
I didn't think that the wine was better than the food, or the food was better than wine. It was such a perfect blend. I like it. I mean, it was almost like it was okay to wear my sweatpants and drink red wine.
Well, I have some other stuff about it. Hold on. I thought this one had more information about it. Anyway. So, chorizo specifically, it's different from like the chorizo you might get in the US because the chorizo in the US is probably going to be more like Mexican chorizo, which is more ground pork. Chorizo here is an actual sausage. A Spanish, like a pork sausage with lots of spices. So it's a quick note about the meat. Spanish chorizo is made from coarsely chopped fatty pork and seasoned with mild Spanish paprika, salt, and garlic.
You know what? And I can attest to when I bit the meat, I did have to. It wasn't an easy. It wasn't like it was hard to eat, but it wasn't like a ground.
Yeah, meat. No, it's difficult if you don't get it.
You had to chew it, and you had to. I mean, but then every bite, you had that spicy, that paprika that was in it, and it just. But and it was funny because when I'm thinking of like a sausage, I am thinking ground meat. 100% am, and I'm thinking it's not hard to chew this, But then the first time I had this, I was like, this is such a different kind of meat in a casing. I don't even want to call it a sausage. It's meat in a casing, and it was a. You had to work at it.
It's actually fairly cheap here for one sausage. It was like 5 francs.
Yeah.
Which is not bad, because like considering for 2 chicken breasts, it's upwards of like 10 francs here.
Absolutely.
Right? The chorizo is really cheap, so I'm gonna start using it a lot now.
I think it's very hearty, and like you said, because it's not ground, it is filling. It was a big protein.
When I was researching food pairings for Rioja, the first thing was chorizo.
Yeah.
Was like what showed up was chorizo. It was absolutely chorizo.
It's like, absolutely. I agree. I'm not surprised about it because when you paired it worked so effortlessly.
Yeah, especially with like it having like the little bit of pepper in it, and it being like more smooth. The spicy goes perfectly.
Absolutely, because sometimes when you drink a red wine with dinner, a lot of times you have to. Maybe have a sip of water in between with your food and your wine. This one, absolutely. This wine, it it's just so easy to drink. It's so drinkable. And, you know, especially with food, my goodness, it's a good one. And I like it with food. I mean, of course, I'd like it just sitting out on the balcony under the lights and listening to some music or a fun podcast. Absolutely would enjoy that, but I also like that it was so good with the food.
Yeah. Also, when I first started making the recipe, I didn't read it all the way through, so I didn't actually know it was a stew. So I was just ready to make potatoes and chorizo, which, to be fair, is what I made for like my meal prep, which I'm also gonna do again this week. I probably should have gotten myself extra potatoes.
Do you have enough cream cheese then?
Oh, don't we have an unopened one?
I hope we do.
Because I bought 2 packs because they were on sale.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So,
and I only needed half of the thing. Have you used it at all?
I don't know if I
Which
have.
means then it's perfect because it was half of it for the dish. Yeah. So I just used the other half again.
That was really delicious too. I had a little bite of that. And, yeah, that was really good. So, yeah. It's so funny that a spicy wine cools the spice of the chorizo. But that spice of the chorizo makes you kind of want a little sip of wine. It's just so funny. It just, you know, they were just best friends. They were best friends, and I loved it. I don't know what you thought.
Well, I think it's interesting because the dish has nothing to do with Rioja wine. But it goes because it's from Rioja, so I don't know how common chorizo is I mean, I assume it's pretty common all over Spain, but like maybe it's more so in the Rioja region. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. We'll have to go and find out.
Yeah, because I mean, it did say like about Riojan potatoes specifically have chorizo in them. Like that is one of the potatoes are obviously the main ingredient, but then chorizo is like the second main ingredient. Like, it's not Riojan potatoes without chorizo.
Okay.
From what I understand. Cause
I'll give them that. I mean, I'll believe that if that's what they want to believe. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say unless we'll talk more about just how we're enjoying the wine.
Yeah.
I mean, today I'm enjoying it. You know, you know, trying to get a little bit of work done around a little spring cleaning because I'm ready for that warm weather that we're being promised.
Yep, excited for my 3-kilometer run on Sunday.
Oh, wow. Wow, I'm not back there yet.
Actually, next Sunday when this one comes out, I'll be doing 4 kilometers. I need one of those like really like tight-fitting shirts that's not like a crop top, but it's not like really loose, and it's not super long, but it's long sleeves.
Well, sorry.
It's really hard to explain because like the long sleeve tops I have now are not that great for running.
Yeah.
They're just really annoying. They kind of get in the way.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Oh well. I just, you know, I don't have special running clothes. I just go. I mean, I'll put on a pair of leggings and a long sleeve, not a t-shirt, obviously, but still, it's not special running clothes. I don't have clothes just for that.
I'm also just excited to be able to run in shorts because I hate running in leggings.
You know, but it's so funny because the other day when I was out, I thought, you know, I'll be glad to be able to get my shorts on. You know,
they make these shorts like specifically made for women that run that have like this thing on the inside band of like your leg that keeps it in place.
You know, my bike shorts have that.
I need that for running.
I didn't realize they made them for running, but my bike shorts have that elastic.
All my shorts ride up and I start getting chafing.
Yeah.
So I just need to invest in some running clothes, but that's not going to happen, so.
Well, yeah, get that job first.
Yes, because there are actually people that are willing to hire other people.
So we're really hoping that, you know, we can kind of convince people we got something, you know, other people want to hear. Sorry, telling Brooke how to edit, and I don't even know how.
Yeah, so why don't you learn a little bit so that in the fall when I'm busy, you can take over a little bit.
How about I wait to learn? Not going to learn. Look, I really don't have the brain bandwidth.
I taught myself how to do it when, like, during one of the most stressful times in my life.
You know,
I really think you're making excuses.
I don't want it to sound that way. I really don't want it to sound that way. I just want to be, you know, I don't know. I guess I get scared learning new things. It's probably a part of it, you know. But I know, you know, learning and making mistakes is all part of that process. But
it's really not that hard.
Okay. Well, maybe.
At least, like, right now, at the current, like, stage that our podcast is in, it is not difficult.
Yeah.
It's just, it is a lot of work. So.
Well, then we'll cut this one off here, so that's not too bad for you when you have to do that next week. But I hope that, if you did join with us and drink some wine along with us, that you enjoy as much as we do.
We'll be back next week with a new wine and a new food pairing. In the meantime, if you want to join the conversation, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Wine Together Pod. Join our Facebook group, Wine Together Podcast. Send us an email, winetogetherpodcast@gmail.com. And if you don't want to miss out on our regular weekly episodes and all of our bonus content, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as liking, subscribing, and commenting on our YouTube, Wine Together Podcast.